I tested some of the best budget phones of 2025, and in this video I'm gonna rank them in a tier list based on their value for money, overall performance, and more. Links to all of the products will be in the description below. Google Pixel 8a. This phone is an absolute powerhouse for its price. You're getting flagship level features like Google's AI tools, the G3 processor, and top-notch cameras. The best part, it's committed to 7 years of software updates, so you'll be set for a long time. The 6.1-inch OLED display is a treat for the eyes, and the battery life is solid. I'm putting this in God tier because it's simply the best Android phone you can get under $500. Samsung Galaxy A35. Samsung's done a great job with this mid-range. It's got a beautiful 6.6-inch Super AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate, which is smooth as butter. The camera setup is impressive for the price, and you're getting that classic Samsung build quality with IP67 water resistance. It's not perfect though, the performance can be a bit sluggish at times. Still, for the overall package, I'm placing this in great tier. It's a solid choice for Samsung fans who don't want to break the bank. Samsung Galaxy A15. This budget offering from Samsung is okay. It's got a decent 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display and a 50-megapixel main camera that takes pretty good photos for the price. The battery life is impressive too, easily lasting a full day, but man, the performance is really sluggish. Apps take a while to load, and even simple tasks feel slow. It's not terrible, but there are better options out there. I'm putting this in average tier. It might be worth considering if you're on a tight budget and really want a Samsung, or otherwise look elsewhere. Moto G Play 2024. Motorola's really stepped up their game with this one. For a super budget-friendly price, you're getting a decent 6.5-inch HD Plus display, improved performance with a Snapdragon 680 and a surprisingly good 50-megapixel main camera. The battery life is stellar too. Sure, it's not going to blow you away with the speed, and the lack of 5G might be a bummer for some, but for basic tasks and even light gaming, it holds up well. I'm placing this in good tier because it offers solid value for money. It's a great option for those who need a reliable phone on a tight budget. Moto G Power 2024. Packs a massive 5000 mAh battery that easily lasts 2 days, and now finally includes 30-watt fast charging plus wireless charging. That's pretty sweet for a budget phone. The 6.7-inch display runs at 120Hz, but man, it's really dim outdoors and the viewing angles are terrible. Gaming performance is a letdown with the MediaTek chip, and the cameras are nothing to write home about. I'm putting this in the good tier because while it has some serious compromises, that battery life and charging features make it a solid choice for anyone who prioritizes endurance over everything else. Samsung Galaxy A05. Comes with a huge 6.7-inch display, but it's stuck at 60Hz refresh rate when competitors are offering at least 90Hz. The MediaTek Helio G85 processor handles basic tasks well, and gaming is surprisingly decent for the price point. Battery life is great with that 5000 mAh cell and 25-watt charging. Plus, you get 128GB storage and 6GB RAM, which is pretty generous. Looking at the overall package, this lands in average tier. It's not bad by any means, but there's nothing particularly exciting here either. OnePlus Nord and 5G. This thing is absolutely stacked for a $300 phone. You're getting crazy fast 50-watt charging that fills up the massive 5000 mAh battery to 75% in just 30 minutes. The 6.72-inch 120Hz display looks fantastic with great colors and smooth animations, and that 108-megapixel camera, while not perfect, is unprecedented at this price point. Performance is solid with a Snapdragon 695, handling most tasks and games without breaking a sweat. This is definitely God-tier material. OnePlus has managed to pack flagship features into an incredibly affordable package. Samsung Galaxy S20 FE 5G. Rocking the Snapdragon 865 chip that just blazes through everything you throw at it. With stellar gaming performance and effortless multitasking, the cameras are seriously impressive, especially that telephoto lens that's missing from other phones in this segment. And you get premium features like wireless charging and IP68 water resistance. Battery life is fantastic too, pushing 5.5 hours of screen time even with 120Hz enabled. This is a clear God-tier phone. It basically brings all the important flagship features at a much more reasonable price point. Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. This thing is a beast. It's got a massive 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate that's just buttery smooth. The camera system is insane. We're talking a 108-megapixel main sensor and 2 telephoto lenses for some crazy zoom capabilities. Battery life is solid too, lasting all day even with heavy use. But man, it's not cheap and there's no microSD slot, which is a bummer. For power users who want the best of the best, this is it. I'm putting this in the great tier. It's amazing, but that price tag keeps it from God tier for me. Samsung Galaxy A25 5G. Alright, we've got a solid mid-ranger here. The 120Hz Super AMOLED display is a nice upgrade from last year's model. It's packing 5G connectivity and the latest Android with One UI, which is great for future-proofing. The camera setup is decent for the price, but don't expect miracles in low light. Battery life is pretty good, but that 25-watt charging is kinda slow by today's standards. For folks who want the reliable Samsung experience without breaking the bank, this is a solid choice. I'm keeping this one in the good tier. It's a nice all-rounder but doesn't really wow me. Samsung Galaxy S22. This one's a bit of a mixed bag. It's got a gorgeous 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate, which is awesome. Camera system is pretty good, especially in low light, and you get decent zoom capabilities. But the battery life is not great. It's smaller than the S21 and you'll probably need to charge it before the day's out if you're a heavy user. It's a solid phone, don't get me wrong, but for the price, I expected more. I'm putting this in the good tier. It's got some great features, but that battery life holds it back. Moto G Stylus 5G. Now, this is a pleasant surprise. For $400, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. The 120Hz display is bright and smooth, and you get stereo speakers, which is great for media consumption. The Stylus is a fun addition, even if it's not as feature-packed as Samsung's S Pen. The performance is solid thanks to the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 chipset, and battery life is impressive. The camera is decent, but night shots can be a bit blurry. For Stylus fans on a budget or just anyone looking for a good all-rounder, this is a great option. I'm putting this in the gray tier. It's not perfect, but the value here is undeniable. Nokia C22e. This budget phone comes with a 5.7-inch IPS LCD display and runs on Android 11 Go edition. It's got a removable 2400 mAh battery, which is pretty small by today's standards. The camera setup is basic with a single 5-megapixel rear camera and a 2-megapixel front-facing camera. It's not going to win any performance awards with its quad-core processor and 1 to 2 GB of RAM, but it could work for very light users on a tight budget. I'm putting this in the average tier. It's not terrible, but there are definitely better options out there for not much more money. Nothing Phone 2a. This mid-range offering from Nothing packs some serious punch for the price. It's got a 6.7-inch 120Hz OLED display that looks fantastic. The MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Pro chip paired with 8GB or 12GB of RAM handles everyday tasks with ease. The camera system is solid too, with a 50-megapixel main shooter that takes great photos. I love the unique glyph interface on the back. It's a cool party trick. Battery life is excellent thanks to the 5000 mAh cell. For the price, this is an easy great tier pick for me. It offers flagship-like features and a mid-range price point. Xiaomi Redmi Note 13. Xiaomi's latest budget offering doesn't disappoint. It sports a 6.67-inch 120Hz AMOLED display that's bright and vibrant. The Snapdragon 685 chip provides smooth performance for everyday tasks. The 108-megapixel main camera is a standout feature, capturing detailed photos even in low light. With a 5000 mAh battery and 33-watt fast charging, you won't be reaching for the charger often. The MIUI software might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's packed with features. I'm putting this in the great tier. It offers incredible value for money and punches above its weight class. Samsung Galaxy A34 5G. Samsung's mid-range contender brings a lot to the table. The 6.6-inch Super AMOLED display is gorgeous, with a smooth 120Hz refresh rate. Performance is snappy thanks to the MediaTek Dimensity 1080 chip. The camera system is versatile with a 48-megapixel main shooter that takes good photos in most conditions. Battery life is excellent with a 5000 mAh cell, though charging is a bit slow at 25 watt. Samsung's software support is top-notch, promising 4 years of OS updates. This lands solidly in the gray tier for me. It's a well-rounded phone that should satisfy most users looking for a reliable mid-range device. Xiaomi Poco X6 Pro 5G. This phone is a powerhouse with its Dimensity 8300 Ultra chipset, delivering flagship-level performance at a mid-range price. The 6.67-inch OLED display is a stunner, boasting 1.5K resolution, 120Hz refresh rate, and Dolby Vision support. Camera performance is solid, especially in low light, though not groundbreaking. With 67-watt fast charging and good battery life, it's a great all-rounder. I'm putting this in the God tier because it offers incredible value and performance that's hard to beat in its price range. Xiaomi Poco M6 Pro. Packed in a stunning 6.67-inch AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate and up to 1300 nits peak brightness, this thing is a display champion in the budget segment. The Helio G99 Ultra chipset delivers solid everyday performance, and you're getting generous storage options up to 512GB with 12GB RAM. The 64-megapixel main camera with OIS takes decent shots, although the macro lens is pretty useless. Battery life is great with 5000 mAh cell and 67 watt fast charging. I'm putting this in the God tier because it offers incredible value with its premium display, good performance and feature set that punches way above its price point. Samsung Galaxy A13. The 6.6-inch LCD display is decent with Full HD Plus resolution, but it's limited to 60Hz and lacks HDR support. Performance is a major letdown. The Exynos 850 chipset really struggles with basic tasks and navigation. The 50-megapixel main camera takes acceptable photos in good lighting, but low-light performance is poor. While the 5000 mAh battery delivers good endurance, charging is painfully slow at just 15 watt. The plastic build feels well put together but looks quite basic. I'm placing this in average tier because while it offers decent battery life and an okay display, the poor performance and limited features make it hard to recommend at its price point. Motorola Moto G54. This budget-friendly phone packs a punch with its 6.5-inch 120Hz display, which is a massive upgrade from its predecessor. The MediaTek Dimensity 7020 chipset provides decent performance for everyday tasks and some light gaming. Battery life is a standout feature, easily lasting 1.5 days with heavy use. The camera setup is decent for the price, but don't expect miracles in low light. I'm placing this in the good tier because it offers great value for money, especially for users who prioritize battery life and a smooth display experience. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the budget phones for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description. Alright, peace out.